So we have a new kind of compendium. It's
Yes.
called Misplaced Monsters.
Yes, it is.
What is this project?
So Misplaced Monsters is a compendium of monsters that was created in conjunction with Extra Life. Basically, we asked a group of wonderful children to come up with a monster. We gave them a little worksheet for them to fill out and draw, and put in explanation of what their monster was or what it could do. And then we took those monsters and made them into actual D&D stat blocks that you can use. And we even had wonderful artists take the children's drawings and recreate them in a more D&D-esque style.
All of the proceeds for this are going to Extra Life, which of course feeds into the Children's Miracle Network. Now, Wizards specifically, or D&D specifically, I should say, directs our efforts specifically towards Seattle Children's. So Seattle Children's will be a direct beneficiary of the money that is made from this fantastic product.
Not only did they provide pictures of the monsters, but they also provided detailed descriptions. And then our task was to take those monsters and translate them for the game. And so we got their beautiful pictures, we got their beautiful write-ups, and we had different folks on the team tackle different aspects of the finished design. How to take their concepts, turn them into creature statistics, and how to take the descriptions that they gave and sort of place them in the worlds of D&D. And so it was a true joy to work on a project inspired by the creativity of these young, beautiful souls.
We have the art. We have the
Yes.
crayon drawings and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Where everything kind of started from. Right?
Exactly, and I think it was, it might have been the art director, Emmy Tanji's idea to actually include, or make sure we included the kids' original art alongside of the official commissioned D&D art. So you can sort of compare. This is the creature in its true purest form, and this is an artist's rendering of that creature.
This is one of my favorite projects I've worked on just because children have such wonderful, wild imaginations, and they're not constrained by any notions of what should or shouldn't be or what is or isn't overpowered. So it's very fun having to take their descriptions and then make them into actual tangible mechanics. One of them is the cat, a little feline friend with fiery wings, and the child was like, yeah, and this creature obliterates evildoers into glitter. And I'm just like, oh, okay, that's I mean, sure, we can do that. It just basically has disintegrate, but that's fine. And it was it's so much fun getting to play with that. Or another one was it can create bubbles from its horn, and these bubbles can transform into a variety of things, such as bonus points or a fart gun. And I'm like, those are two very different things, neither of which I don't think has a precedence in D&D. But the goal when we were designing these monsters was to keep them as true and as in line with the children's descriptions and visions for these monsters as much as possible. So if you're wondering why one of the monsters has a stink bomb, that's why.
Was there anything that you were one of the kids' descriptions of the monsters, you were like, how do I do this? How am I going to
the fart gun.
this? The fart gun.
The fart gun.
Perfect.
Yeah, no. The fart gun was definitely a hard one. Also, I think ephemeral bonus points are not quite a thing. So I believe for that one, what we ended up doing was combining it with another effect that the creature could do, which was, I think, create cookies. And so now they're bolstering cookies. I think another fun one was the blueberry dragon that lives in space. Which is super fun because in the worlds of D&D, space means wild space, which means psionics, which means Spelljammer-esque setting. So I got to create this wonderful blueberry dragon that lives off in wild space and has psionic spellcasting, which was not included in the kid's description, but I wanted to have a good homage to the fact that it is space or the D&D equivalent of space. Also, it deals blueberry damage, which is a new damage type.
There's a sort of a a mean-looking construct that lives in junkyards.
That's my favorite.
And then we've got this sort of super shifty dragon that lives in rivers and under waterfalls and things. And then we've got this sort of cloud cat who like exudes rainbow magic, but at the same time it can turn you to dust. So it's just this wild panoply of creatures. And the great thing about these monsters is they sort of fit into very iconic environments. The scrapper construct, anywhere where you would drop in an automaton, basically, you could find a home for that guy easily. Yeah. If you wanted to use Coral, who is this sort of unicorn-like, mermaid-esque kind of thing, it's not hard to imagine places where you can put that in your campaign. And you know, if the characters are ever, you know, flying in the clouds or anything like that, it won't be hard to find a place for Rain, the little winged cat creature. Or even as a pet for a wizard or a sorcerer or something like that, a companion or something. So I could brainstorm ideas for how to use these monsters till the cows came home, but I know for sure the next time my party goes into the Feywild, there's going to be some dandelions there.
Do you have advice for running these new monsters? And because they are so completely unique, it kind of like opens up the avenue for different adventures.
Oh yeah, so these monsters are fun. They're weird. They're whimsical. They're meant to be a good time. So like, don't take yourself too seriously if you want to put these monsters in your campaigns. Like, they are excellent allies, but they can be amazing, incredible, vibrant challenges. They are all checked and measured by the same challenge rating measurements that we use for all of our other books, so they are mechanically sound and on their CR level, blueberry damage aside. So like, you can run them as you would any other monster, but they have such life and vibrancy to them that I would hate to see them like in combat, but I also know, as the person who designed them, they can absolutely hold their own in combat. They are tough as nails and incredible.
So when is this available, and how long will it be available?
It's available right now in D&D Beyond, and you can get it all the way up to November 30th of this year, 2023.
What was your favorite thing about the project?
All of it. Everything. It was great. It was so much fun. The minute I heard we were gonna take some designs that were created by children and make them into stat blocks, as someone who loves monster design and also just adores the absolute whimsy and creativity that so many children possess, to the point where I envy it and I try to emulate it in my own creations, in my own work. I immediately volunteered to design on this project. I was like, give, because it's so much fun and it's such a fun concept. And as someone who, like, as a kid, made a bunch of like fantasy monsters and always wished that they would get to come to life in some way, shape, or form, it was so cool to get to be the person to do that for these kids.
What's your favorite one, though?
No, don't make me choose between
you don't
my
have
children.
You can't say.
I can't do that. I gotta go, Todd. I have to leave.
I mean, how often do you get to mechanically create the wish of a child, though?
Hopefully more often than I would think, because this was great. But it was just such a delight and a pleasure to be able to help shape these kids' dreams and creations into reality.